minutes past 8. Good morning. My name is Ifeyemi Andrew, and you're welcome the morning crossfire conversation for this morning. Beautiful Monday morning here in the city of Port Harcourt. We're streaming live on Facebook, so please do well to get on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. You can watch and listen to us live. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, and don't forget to also on Facebook let us know where you're watching from. Thank you very much. My guest this morning is former national spokesperson of the PDP, Kola Ologbondiyan. Sir, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Morning.
Happy New Week to you, I should say.
Happy New Week too.
All right. We've had you on the show several times with regards to the situation in the PDP, and I'd spoken to you about the position of the party and the hopes of having the national chairman of the party come from your zone, your area, which is one that has been the bone of contention in the party. So far, recent developments suggest that we might be heading in that direction. Can you give us more insight into it? What exactly is the situation around the emergence of the new acting chairman of the party?
Okay, the new acting chairman of the party, Yahya Ahmed Mohammed, is from Gombe State. He's currently the national treasurer of the party. So he's holding his current position is a holding position to enable the party hold its national executive committee meeting and take a decision in respect of section 47(6) of the constitution of the party as amended in 2017, which has been the guiding principle and the grand norm of our party in a matter of successions where replacements are required.
Okay. The question now is, why wasn't it a choice for replacement from the very start? If we're going to go by the party procedure, is what's happening now? Is it the party's constitutional provisions as to if we are to replace in the case of replacing a chairman?
What is happening now is that we have a situation in which an acting chairman who came in through the same section 47(6) is now acting as a seat-tight acting chairman. The provision of the law in the party's constitution, 2017 as amended, says that position can be in acting capacity for 90 days. If you calculate since March 2023 to October 2024, you certainly know that is already beyond 90 days. And the North Central is requesting from the party that it should be allowed, in line with the provisions of the constitution of the party, to assume the position of the substantive chairman guaranteed by the constitution. And I think the issues that we are having in the party today is in respect of the approach of the ousted acting national chairman, Ambassador Elias Dabago, to sit tight in the office. I think that is where the challenge is.
You had said something about the National Executive Council meeting that will be held and then plans for the convention. There was a NEC meeting that was held earlier. Agreements were reached as to how to resolve the issues in the party, the time frame for which Damago was going to remain there. And we were supposed to have another meeting, I think that was in August, if I'm not mistaken. And that time came elapsed. My worry now is, and I'm sure it's the worry of many other PDP members in Rivers State and across the country, those agreements that were reached at that NEC and the resolutions that followed afterwards, which includes a disciplinary committee, meetings being held now by the BOT, where would all of those now stand with this new development?
No. I'm happy that you recall that in the meeting in April, the Magum leadership then did say that, we have congresses. So when we round up these congresses, we'll now meet in August. We are dealing with an acting chairman who cannot stand by his words, who cannot stand by the provisions of his own own office as declared by him. From August, it was shifted to September. From September, it has been shifted to October. And until the BOT met either on Thursday or last Friday, and were emphatic on the need that the October 24th date must not shift, we will have had a situation where once again they will have shifted, because they are just lying to Nigerians, particularly members of the People's Democratic Party.
How so?
They have no intention of holding that neck, and so they just drop a date. Before the date comes, they give an excuse. But now the party leaders, the party stakeholders are insisting that the meeting must hold.
Now, this is where it's also tricky, because we had several court orders stopping organs of the party from removing Damagu in his capacity as acting chairman. So how is the PDP going about this? How did the governors go about this to successfully bring a new acting chairman without infringing on those court orders and ensuring that it's done within the party constitution as well?
I have information that the governors are meeting today virtually, and I think it's an emergency meeting because of the situation in the party. So we await the outcome of that meeting. But as you know, there are plethora of judgments and rulings which declare that, look, the court is not the manager of parties. And as such, the court should not come and tell the party how to run its own affairs, except where the party infringes on the right of an individual. And in this circumstance, in line with the provisions of our own law, in line with the provision of the constitution of the PDP 2017 as amended, telling Damagum that he has overstayed his welcome as an acting national chairman falls within the provision of the constitution of the party. And anybody who is giving any judgment without reckoning with section 47(6), it is strange. But we allow, if a trial court take a decision, you have a right to go to the next stage and also the next stage. So I believe that even if you have to go through this process, the party will be prepared to do that.
I'd like you to take us down memory lane, because there are those that argue that within the PDP, has there been times where the court had interfered in matters that concerned the party, perhaps when everything was rosy and everybody was on the same page, and those court orders came and were used as instruments to either sack some people from the party or remove them from the party. Has that happened in the PDP before?
It's just unfortunate that the ousted acting national chairman, Ambassador Elias Damagum, refused to allow history to guide him. Because even from the northeast, where he came from, Alhaji Bamanga Tuko was national chairman. When he resigned, he was replaced by Muazu, former governor of Bauchi State. When he resigned, Sekondu was in acting capacity. And when the people of the Northeast said, look, when the people of the Northeast came up and said, look, this is our slot, and we cannot yield it to the South-South, Sekondu yielded that office. Election was held at NEC, and Alimodu Sheriff emerged. It was still on the provision of section 47(6) that all this was achieved. So there's been time in history. And for a party that has an experience of 25 years, it has gone through time-tested rules, which has allowed for. That is why, in spite of all that has happened to the party, it is still alive, it's still kicking. Every other party that came with it in 1998, they have all gone, except AD that kept metamorphosizing through the instrumentality of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the level of becoming APC today. So PDP is guided by rules, and the founders of the party wrote a perfect constitution that can take care of every situation in the party.
So, in other words, the move and the step that's been taken now, Mr. Ologbondiyan, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Right, the move, you're saying, in other words, that the move taken now by the party is highly constitutional, and any decision that would be made by the new acting chairman, Ahmed Mohammed, would be something that is binding on all.
Whatever decision, because now that the members of the working committee themselves have declared the outside chairman as unfit to lead the working committee, it is because even the same, even Damagum himself was made a replacement to Yoche Ayu by the National Working Committee using the same provision of the Constitution. So the NWC are acting within the purview of the law guiding the party. So their action, because as you know, Yahya Ahmed Mohammed, who has been named already by members of the working committee as a successor, has expressed his readiness to hold neck as agreed, and to also discuss and take a decision on the appropriate zone, which is the North Central, to assume the office of chairman by producing a substantive chairman. So all these are playing out in the party.
So in other words, from what you've explained, the court orders really do not hold anything against the NWC of the party.
No, I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
From what I have read in the public domain, it shows clearly that the court judgment, because that's been the argument, the court judgment did not stop NWC members from replacing one of their own if they found him unfit. Except the court is saying that the PDP has no right of existence. If that's the provision, if that's the position of the court, that the PDP has no right of existence. But in as much as the PDP has the right of existence, it can look among itself at any point in time and say, look, you have finished your own tenure, you have finished your term, go. And I find it strange that people are coming up to say that somebody is coming up to tell us that until we go to National Convention in 2025, we can replace the chairman. That is in acting capacity, acting, not substantive.
Who is saying this?
But we say it is contained. We had this contained in one court judgment that we must go to the convention in December 2025. And it's totally strange. That's not the provision of the constitution of the party. Let us even assume that Damagum was elected into that office. Then you can say that, oh, okay, let him finish his term now, and at the next convention, you can do this or you can do that. We are talking about a chairman who, by the acting chairman, who by the provision of the Constitution was chosen among his colleagues by his colleagues to assume office. And now the court is saying that, oh, no, you must leave him. Leave him as what? He's a substantive chairman. Anyway, I don't want to be disrespectful to any judge. And I don't want to be disrespectful to any judgment of the court. So we'll wait and see what the other superior courts will come up with.
Interesting is the fact that we have, I think, 4 governors who are against this move and are standing with Damago on this, and they are Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, as well as the governors of Adamawa State, Fintiri, who is a known ally of the FCT minister, Caleb Mufwang of Plateau State, I think Mr. Kefas as well, Taraba State, some of the 4 governors who are standing, and they are said to be loyal to the FCT minister. The question is, many have hinted that there are others working with Damagu, enabling him to do what he's doing. In fact, recently we saw him pay a visit to the Bauchi State Governor, who is the chairman of the governors PDP Governors Forum, and we don't know what that meeting was for. But some say perhaps it was to see how everyone can resolve the issues going on. Is the party aware of any individuals that are perhaps behind the scene pushing Damagu? We'll get your response after the commercial. Just stay on the line for us, please. Thank you.
Attention, Port Harcourt. Big State
What the time is, and the conversation continues here on the Morning Crossfire. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. I have with us a former PDP National Publicity Secretary, Kola Ologbondiyan. Sir, you're welcome again. Thank you for staying on the line for us. Hello, sir. You can hear me? Good morning. Thank you for staying on the line. All right. We'll just quickly come to you so that you respond to the question I put across to you before the commercial. But let me also remind those who are listening, from wherever you are, you also can watch us live on Facebook. We're streaming live at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. We're also live on YouTube. So join us on YouTube as well at Nigeria Info PH. And I'm sure you also have questions to ask. And if you do, use the WhatsApp number and send those questions across to us, 0809-030-6416. All right, quickly now, let me come back to my guest and get his response. So before the break, I was asking, is the party aware of any individual or individuals who perhaps are working behind the scenes with Damagum to enable, the situation that we have now in the party?
Yes, you raised the issue of certain governors.
Yes, four
in the PDP, and I don't want us to work with conjectures, no matter how feasible they appear. Since the governors are going to hold a meeting today, or as said, to be prepared to hold a meeting today, we should wait for the outcome of their meeting before we apportion blames. That is one. Two. You also asked a question concerning the visit of Damagum to Senator Bala Mohammed, the
Bauchi State Governor
of Bauchi State. And I want to speak I also want to speak in respect of that, because I'm aware that after that meeting, and it's in public space also, that Governor Bala did come out to say that the chairman came to him with the leaders of their zone. That's the outside acting chairman, Damagum, came to him with the leaders of their zone. And they have discussed issues of friendship between him and the outside acting national chairman. But the aspect that concerns the party is beyond him and beyond even the outside acting national chairman, Damagum himself. That will be decided by the stakeholders of the party, which includes the governors, the BOT, and members of NEC. So I think that's in order. I think that is right. And I must also give it to the Bauchi State Governor for his efforts to ensure that the party is pulled together at every level. I've heard accusations that he was in River State to support Governor Similaye Fubara, who did anti-party activities. Well, the issue of who is doing anti-party activities now is no longer as portrayed in the constitution of the party. It's at the whims and the thinking of every individual. So I want to leave it at that.
All right. You already brought it to River State, so I think I'll just put this one more question to you before we open the lines. Some have said that the position that the River State governor is in at the moment is because the PDP leadership and the issue within the party has led to failure of the party standing by the River State governor and giving him the necessary support that could have, if given quite early, helped mitigate whatever it is that the governor has to deal with within the PDP in River State. Is this correct, in your opinion?
It is very correct. It is the failure of the leadership of the outside acting national chairman to provide the required support for the governor of River State, who is a governor who was elected on the platform of the party, the Every Democratic Party, that has brought us to where we are. Because, and I've said this before, outside the then governor of Anambra State, Dr. Mbadineju, who in 2003 was denied the structure of the party, as a supposed leader of the party in Anambra. In the history of the party, there's no governor has been denied his right as the leader of the party in his home state. That is a fact, and I don't run away from the truth. I will say the truth, irrespective of where I find myself. That is a statement of fact. So when the Damagum leadership then acted against the governor of the elected on the platform of the party. It has led us to a crisis.
All right. We'll open the phone line and take a few calls. I'm sure several people have questions to want to throw in your direction and even contributions to make. On Facebook, many already have been responding to the very first parts of the conversation where we talked about whether the party should consider the various court orders while taking steps to address the leadership issues that it is currently facing. And we have comments already coming in on Facebook, many responding to your position on that. We definitely will be taking the much that we can. The phone numbers are 0817 923 0007. Again, 0817 923 0007. You can also call us on 0817 923 0002. Prince Wogu says, is it part of the party's constitution to remove an acting chairman and replace him with another acting chairman? If no, why not allow Damagu conduct the national convention to produce a substantive chairman? That's the question that's coming from one of the listeners on Facebook here. This person, Clever Sonny, says, congratulations to the new chairman of the PDP. I think it's high time the city minister and all his anti-party followers take a bow and join the APC. Thank God Ability says all those that betrayed the party in the last presidential election should be suspended. Damagu is not capable of handling the crisis in the party. Just a few of the messages. Still more to take on WhatsApp. This one says, on suspension of Damagu and others, the PDP has already suspended Damagu and others before the court order. There is no way an act has been already carried out can be reversed with a court order. The order came late. Come to think of it, Supreme Court has already ruled on internal party matters before, so the High Court order cannot be valid on this. Hector sent this one in on WhatsApp. Damagu should be forced out of the office because he's a caretaker chairman and not a chairman who was elected here. We, the members of the PDP, are tired of his style of leadership. Hobnobbing with the APC is an offense against our party. Damagu should leave our party for us and join the FCT minister, and if they want, join the APC. Joseph Ben sent that one from Andoni. Okay, let's go to the phone lines and take some of the calls. Cookie Gam is on the line. Good morning, Cookie Gam.
Good morning. No.
All right, go on, please.
I want to Kola, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Andrew, there was a thing that says, touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. Andrew, if any man touches God's anointing or God's prophet, that's problem. Andrew, today, 14th of October, this River State governor anointed the God. The way for you to have this anointed, that's what God anointed this governor. Among the best in the land, among the best in the land, among David children, God chooses David and not by king of Israel. Among the best believers, God look at this young man, good governor, give all these guys to river. It's not anointed. Andrew, if this does not take and address this issue well, this governor from this governor will involve PDP and citizenry. If the front Nigeria address this government problem, this will also better to the government of Nigeria. If this issue does not take time to address the government issue, it also affects the judiciary. So, talking God anointed, God becomes very brave in society. So I want to tell the PDP, it is in time said now. I want to tell the president of the government, the labor of the people, please, this government will stop this control. What I say will follow it to long.
All right, Cookie Gam. Robin in a chair, good morning.
Good morning, Simeon.
Yeah, good morning to you, Robin.
Happy working day.
All right, same to you, my friend.
And greeting to the former spokesperson of PDP, Kola. It's interesting each time listening to you.
Good morning, sir.
You see, in life, you choose two paths, either the path or the good. Malay made it popular. You lie, you die. You say the truth, you die. Why have people said the path of anomaly, the wrong side? You pick and choose. Why? By virtue of law, rule of law provides that the enemies choose suggest themselves and submit themselves to the law. The listeners have had Kola mention a section of the Constitution of PDP. But people will be saying one man lives and the phone. So where are the asking, the slaughter to the battle? It's wrong. And I stand like for the president. The same thing is happening in PDP in River State. The same thing is happening in APC, in his own party. This is a man who found on May 29, 2023 that was going to rule Nigeria with rule of law. The first thing he did was to disband and sack elected schools of APC against his constitution. And he brought the former governor to his cabinet, causing problem. And put fire and he had that possibility. The judges, they should be careful because when the roof collapses, it's going to fall on all of us.
All right, then. Isaiah George in Buguma, quickly.
Yes, Andrew, I greet you once again. To Kola. You see, Andrew, analytically, good over evil is just a moment of time. Take us patient, and that is the governor of River State has really portrayed to the people of Nigeria at large. It is written in Romans 12, 18 to 21. Today, what they say, that all that you just what Namagu is doing today is what so many others, the process of the party's constitution, tied us. To him. What you see is because they are using him to make a they shoot him to the side, they shoot him back, and with the conjunction with the national judges, government, the former something in children here in River State, it was the government now we are outstanding judges, doing the spiritual term in the country is much.
Isaiah
will allow the judiciary to be in this order.
Isaiah, thank you very much. Well, we are not in a position to tell whether the judgments that come from the High Court were manipulated or not. Even if you might have questions around them and, perhaps see a pattern, I think that would also be a thing for the judiciary to look into and arrive at a conclusion on whether we have judges who are cutting corners and arriving at judgments that are not up to par. JJ in Rumigbo, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew.
Yes.
With your guest, Mr. Kola. Kola, please. The party and an individual who is bigger. I ask this question in line with what the party resolved when the tenure of the ESCO expired. The party said, and I quote, that all the people who are still members of the ESCO that have not left the party should form the caretaker. But right here in River State, they brought in people, violated that order, and nothing was done. And you and me know that when bad behavior is controlled over time, it becomes a norm, true or false. So, you people allow this to fester, and the injustice against the governor to continue because you have a man that you are pouring drink to his image every day, led by Damagun. So, for this one now, yes, it's good that you people have realized yourself that whatever happens in River State will surely affect the entire country. Thank God for what you have been doing so far. And the last question I want to ask you, sir. The court order and the action have been taken to throw away Damagun like Jonah in the ship. Which one comes first? Thank you very much.
All right, and then we'll take one more from Promise before we come back to my guest. I'm sure he has some responses to give. And there's one more question I'd also like to ask. Promise, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Promise. Let's hear you, please.
Okay, I greet your guest. Continue.
Good morning.
So, if we are talking about a governor of the state, also be a leader of the state. My brother, I'm from River State. From Ologbondiyan. You can't leadership give to a man that what is governance. And also you can't take a man that knows the politicians.
I don't know if you want us to sell the state to another party. Because that is why if you want to the acting PDP chairman, that is to be very careful. You can't take a state and give a man who doesn't know what is politics. Okay, look at what is happening in the state. You say a leader of the party, the president of the state, doesn't go to another party. To run an election. Tell people that even I'm the one that loses, but my party is not contesting. I think I can't take that. So if you ask me, I think the acting party chairman, which they say that they are suspended, which I think they are playing. I think the man is right. But shame. Which is governor of the state is not capable to lead the party in River State. So I think the Magadu the acting chairman, so he's right, but not recognizing that the leader of the party in the state. Thank you.
All right. Promise thinks that Damagu was right for not standing by the River State governor as leader of the party in the state, because he thinks he doesn't have the political know-how to ensure that the PDP remains on top in River State. Well, Mr. Ologbondiyan, I'll allow you to respond to some of the callers before we ask you the next question. I'm sure you have a few things to say.
I think going by the question by the last speaker, the convention of the party has never gone into the chemistry or arithmetic of who has the capacity to lead the state or not. I'm speaking about what has happened in time past in view of what is happening now. So I don't know if governors are, first of all, check to say that can they do this or can they do that before they become the leader of the party in their respective states. I have stated the obvious about what the practice, what the convention had always been in the party. I want to leave it at that. Generally, I think another person also said that Damagun was right. Oh, I think it's still the last speaker that said that Damagun was right in his decision. Well, Damagun was not right in his decision, because if there are no rules, then anybody can act as he wishes. But where there are rules, where there are conventions, this needs to be followed. This needs to be explored. And these were not in the case of the congresses that happened, not just in Rivers State, in many other states as well. I think this is just the main issue that I want to respond to.
All right. I think this question will be important to get your thoughts on. A congress was held in Rivers State that had the FCT minister present. Would that congress now be questioned by the new leadership of the party? Is it something that would come up, or has it come up before? What's your view about this, and where do you see the PDP standing?
As you know, Andrew,
yes,
every congress that has been held, maybe they've been passed by, once they are passed at the National Working Committee level, they must be brought back. They must be brought to the National Executive Committee, which has the final say on congresses. So until a congress goes to pass the ratification of the National Executive Committee, it cannot be said to have been concluded. That's my take.
So in other words, from what you've said, is it safe to say that the Congress held in the state at the time has not been concluded because perhaps it hasn't gone through?
Ratification, what is convenient to say is that it has not gone through the ratification of the National Executive Committee. That is the last stage. It has to go through.
There's also a court order saying that a court order or judgment, I can't remember which, saying that no one should interfere with the leadership of the PDP in Rivers State coming from that Congress. Will that also
that will not align with the laws in the party. There's no law. It's not about anybody. It's what the Constitution says. So when you conduct Congress, you take it, the results goes to the NWC. From the NWC, it goes to the National Executive Committee. Except all that is happening in the party now is devoted to setting aside the Constitution or marching on the Constitution. I think that it is still advisable that if we still have a party, we have a semblance of what is called a party, we should align ourselves with the rules that guide that party.
All right, a few messages on WhatsApp. Mike Offo says, all those governors standing with the FCT minister, I hope they themselves are not the leaders of their party in their various states, because if they are, then what they are doing should be questioned. Mike from New Road. Jojo Adewale says, until internal democracy and rule of law prevails in the PDP cannot settle. On who is leader of the party in the state, it is clear that whoever is the senior in the state remains the leader. In case of Bayelsa, who is leader of party? Is it not former President Goodluck Jonathan? I think I've addressed this. I wouldn't, because Bayelsa is my state as well too. Goodluck Jonathan is, yes, a recognized leader of the PDP because of the level he has attained, former president of the country. But it doesn't mean that at the moment the governor is not in charge of the party. Mr. Ologbondiyan, I don't know if I'm saying something that's out of line.
Of course, you are very much on course.
This one says, until...
In a state where you don't have a governor, as a matter of fact, in states where you don't have a governor, by tradition, by convention, the last governor takes charge. Except by concessions. By concessions that we have a primate leader in the state. You can do that. But outside that, this has been the tradition of the party.
All right. Until Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is expelled from the party, the PDP will never settle. Every problem starts with him and it would end with him. Joe. There's also a statement going around social media from Fayose, former Ekiti State Governor, saying that Atiku should leave the PDP, that he cannot be president of the country at the time that Tinubu will be finishing his term. If he gets a second one, Atiku would be 80 at the time, he says. What do you make of many people pointing fingers towards the former vice president of being one of the major reasons of issues in the party?
Every member of the party has a right to an opinion, but it must be. I believe that such opinions should be opinions that are sustainable. And I think that saying that somebody has to leave the party, that person has to leave the party. If everybody leaves the party, then who is going to remain in the party? And it is called the People's Democratic Party. So I want to leave it at that.
What happens with the disciplinary committee set up? How are we looking at people that might be found guilty of anti-party activities?
Well, you know, the disciplinary committee has called for memoranda. So with that, it means that they are working. They have started work. So they've called for memoranda. And like I've always said consistently, that you cannot just go and pick a man and say on the basis of what is being said about him, is to go and face the disciplinary committee. And that's why I said earlier in the day, when we were talking, that look, the founders of the party gave a constitution that could stand the test of time to the party. So, in line with the provisions of the constitution, the disciplinary committee has called for memoranda. So, anybody who is aggrieved about the action or inaction of any individual will take their memoranda to the disciplinary committee.
Okay.
Or they submit it through the National Working Committee. Or they send it to the chairman of the committee, Chief Tommy Kimi. That's all I have to say.
All right, Mr. Ologbondiyan, thank you very much for your time. It's been always fantastic having you on the show.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And thank you, listener.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right, you heard that from the former national spokesperson of the PDP. Interesting conversation, all of it online on Facebook. We'll take a commercial, come back and take a few more messages.
Nigeria Info will be right back.